What's up, guys? Straight from the chest. My name is Justin Groth. Guys, I want to thank you for giving me your listening ear. Thank you for joining me on this podcast, guys. Welcome. For those of you who are new, again, welcome. I really appreciate your time. And for those of you who have given me any length of your attention, I just am so grateful for you guys. So before I start these podcasts, I always meditate and pray. And my way of meditation is really just being by myself, honing in on what I think God wants me to talk about. Because it's very important for me to deliver value to you in each and every one of these podcasts. I don't just jump on here haphazardly and just talk about the weather. And you already know that if you've been listening for any length of time. It's very important for me to bring out topics that I feel urgent on. And for some reason, and oftentimes I'll get downloads. And for some reason, I can't shake this one download. And it's about extending an olive branch. And you've heard that term, extend an olive branch. And that basically means help, extend some help to somebody, or somebody's extending some help to you, or giving you a pass or a slide or whatever, however you want to conform it. Most of us go through life and we think that we're doing this all on our own. We really do. We're really egocentric when it comes to that. We're really, really centered around me, myself, I'm doing this. This is all me. And to some degree, it is your perseverance and it is your tenacity and it is your discipline that's causing things to manifest and essentially orient yourself around a particular axiom, so to speak. For 1 second, that there are particular people designed to come into your life at particular times to accelerate you to levels and shift you in trajectories that you wouldn't be in or subjected to otherwise. Now, this is what I mean by olive branch. Because essentially, we can't do everything on our own. And if we try and attempt, it's valiant and it's noble to do so. However, it doesn't mean that everything is going to come into concert as a byproduct. We need olive branches. We need those people to accelerate us into a different trajectory that we otherwise would not be able to partake in if it were just us. And that's what I mean by it's not all you. In fact, I think I have a podcast. Well, I don't think I do have a podcast centered around, I have a couple, I believe, centered around the fact that it's not all you, that you're not self-made, that there is, and this goes above and beyond what I want to talk about today, but it's centered around it not all being you and just your action or just your perseverance. Although those are massive, massive components to the entire framework, but it's not the end all be all. You can't just attest to it just being you and nothing else externally. So that's what I want to hone in on today. I know you're at a place right now. You're probably at a standstill. You probably feel stuck. You probably feel like you're on autopilot. I just want to talk to you for a second. You probably feel like nothing is changing. And you're right, nothing is changing. But God wouldn't have put the vision in you. He wouldn't have put the dream in you. He wouldn't have put the understanding in you that you can't understand. That doesn't make any sense, but just bear with me. He wouldn't have put the particularity in you if it weren't something that he could bring to pass. And you gotta forego whatever's going on in the world right now. That's bigger than you. That's not your challenge. That's not your fight. Don't concern yourself with that as much as you are right now, because that is going to only distract you from the elements that are actually trying to become extracted from your being and actually manifest themselves in your life. So, the distraction is one thing. If you get distracted, Just remember what I'm saying here. That's not your fight. You can't do anything about it anyways. And I know that some people might take that wrong because it's like the way that I'm speaking is like maybe, well, you think you can't, but that's how everybody thought that way, we would never get anything done. Slow your roll. Relax. You know what I mean by saying, you know what I mean when I'm saying that. You can't change what's going on. You have a better chance changing it through prayer. You have a better chance changing it through your actions from person to person than you do by making a big scene about everything and posting about things that really nobody's going to pay any attention to. Because who are you? What credentials do you have? None. Zero. So stop. Just understand your fight. Your fight is not that. Your fight is bringing out what God placed inside of you, because there have been so many times in this lifetime that we thought the world was done. We thought it's going under, that's it, no chance. It's happened quite frequently. If you go back into historically speaking. So I believe this is just another one of those times. We'll get through it. It will pass. And that's why you have to continuously press into your particular orientation and the particular gift that you have. Now, that being said, it's not going to be all you doing this. It can't be, because it can't grow to the global foundation that it's essentially meant to grow to by just you alone. It's going to take somebody else. It's going to take an olive branch extension to be able to bring you to where you're supposed to go. But that's going to cause you to have to be patient. And that's going to cause you to have to continuously do the thing that you're doing, whether it's songwriting, blogging, whatever it is. It's going to take a persistency on your end. And that's the only way that's going to keep getting fed is by your own belief and by people that believe in you. And trust me, there are people that believe in you. The olive branch that extends to you is going to come from a person or persons that believe in you. And it only takes one. It only takes one olive branch. And that could have so many different tones to it. You just really can't hone in on what that particularity is or what that particular tone is. But you can just do your best where you're at, understanding that this is a part of the process, that this is something that has to take place. There's so many reasons behind that. We're not going to get into them because I've gotten into them on multiple past episodes, and we're not going to revisit that. But listen, the olive branch has to be there, and it will come, and it will be extended to you, and that's going to be the accelerator in your development. That's going to be the accelerator in your career. That's going to be the accelerator in your legacy. But you have to keep pressing, man. And you can't allow this type of distraction to detour you. Because there are multiple distractions. There are multiple ways that you can run off the rails here. Multiple. And that's exactly what the enemy wants, man. When I say enemy, I don't mean like some other person. I mean Satan. That's exactly what he wants. I'm not trying to make this into a religious podcast, but I should tell you, if you don't already know, I am very much a religious person. When I say religious, I mean I have a relationship with God, which I would encourage you to have if you don't yet already, because if not, I don't believe you're going to make it in this world as a result. So listen, that's just my opinion. That's my take. You can take it how you want. I don't care. But listen, the fact of the matter is that olive branch is coming. And I know I keep saying that, but I want to keep talking about it. I want to keep revisiting it because it's important to understand. Because we can have somewhat of a nihilistic attitude moving forward. We can become apathetic. And we don't want to lose that passion. We don't want to lose that drive. We don't want to lose that focus, because that's the whole thing that's causing us to keep going. That's the food that we need. We need that food. If we don't have that food, we starve. And if we starve, we just die without allowing our full potential to come to fruition. That's important. If you want your full fruition to come to, you want your full potential to come to fruition, you're going to keep going. and you're going to omit what anybody else says, and you're not going to worry about what they say, and you're going to keep your focus. That's so paramount. And I don't think most of you are putting that into action right now. That's why I'm looking right at you. If you're listening online or you're watching this on YouTube, that's why I'm looking at you. Because I need you to understand that this is not going to happen by way of just you. But you need to allow all the distractions to leave your side. You need to allow all the people that are speaking negatively, that don't believe in you, let them go. They're just distractions. They're there on purpose. Because Satan doesn't want you to come to your full potential. He just doesn't want to see it, man. But why do you keep pressing? Why do you keep waking up every day? Why don't you pull the plug now? You know why? Because you know you're worth more. Because you have something more to look forward to. Because there's something in you that's got to be extracted. It's got to be. And the only way that's going to come is by your valiant effort, persistent effort, and tenacious, audacious attitude in the particular thing that you know you're great at. And then on top of that, olive branches get extended. And you wake up one day and you have a certain email that was given to you over the night, and you open it up and it's somebody who you never thought would reach out to you, is reaching out to you and asking something from you, or you to be a part of something, or you, in so many words, you to use the talents that you have for them. And you know that it's going to bring you to a level that you couldn't have put yourself on your own. And that's when it all spirals. And that's when you reflect and realize it was all worth it. All those grueling days, all those times, man, that I just put in this effort, this work, and all this, and most of all the belief that you had in yourself, that you might have thought was feeble or futile. You just it wasn't. You weren't being feeble, man. This was on purpose. It's not futile. This is on purpose. And all those times you reflect on it, it's all going to be worth it. But you will have to keep going, because if you don't, you'll never understand what could have been. You'll never understand. And I'm telling you to keep going, even though this might be 7 years. You're senior from right now, or 10. There's guys that made it at the age of 45 when they thought, man, their life is done. Like, I'm going to be... In fact, here's a crazy story. You know Ron White, the comedian, right? If you don't, look him up. Ron White was 42 years old in Mexico making pottery, thought that would be the rest of his life, and he was content with that. He had kind of, done dabbled in comedy here and there. But one day, he was friends with this guy named Jeff Foxworthy. Jeff Foxworthy called him and said, hey man, just come on the road with me and do my openings, do my opening gig as I'm headliner, for me, because I'm the headliner, because Jeff is the headliner, and Ron White would be the opening act, okay? Ron said, okay. That right there, that put him up. Jeff Foxworthy was his olive branch. Just to give you guys some context. Ron thought he was just going to be living in Mexico doing his pottery. Jeff calls him and says, hey man, I want you to come over, because Jeff believed in him. Jeff knew his comic ability and his comic talent, even when Ron probably didn't. And then they started Blue Collar Comedy, and you know what that turned into. Just massive. Now Ron's 63 years old, I believe, and now would never be able to even fathom the life that he's led from the age of 42 on to 63. Most people you know that are in their 40s, they think what they have is what they have, and they're going to keep going until they retire, and then that's it. You know, what would have happened in their 20s or 30s, right? Wrong. And that doesn't happen for everybody. Everybody is on a different path. Everybody has different timelines. You may have gotten started late. You're maybe late to the party, but that doesn't mean your party doesn't keep going on. And that's the good news for you. That olive branch is coming. That's more good news for you. You don't know when that time's coming. But the important thing to note is that every day there could be a moment, there could be that email, there could be a phone call that changes the course of your life forever. And I don't know about you. I'm not saying I'm waiting on the extension of an olive branch and I'm just praying upon a star. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's inevitable. That's inevitable because I will tell you this. In my own human strength, I can't do what I vision. I just can't. My visions are way too big. And I encourage you, if you can't figure out how you would get to where you want to go, or if you can figure out where you want to go, and you can envision yourself getting there, get bigger visions. Your vision's got to be so big, you can't possibly fathom or understand the vehicle to get there. Done.